And we are live. What is going on, good people of YouTube? It is me, Chavez, and I am back. We are back with another day, another live stream, another player prop talk for everybody. I hope this content finds you doing well and in good spirits. We got the background music turned down so I'm not drowned out by my own music there. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope your night last night was good. I hope your taco slips worked out well. If they did not, then we'll get to those. We'll get to those with our turds of the day, plays of the day. We'll get to new plays on PrizePicks, Underdog, Hot Streak, wherever you play. We'll go over some Q&A as well. And then we'll put a bow on this baby and we'll get on with our day. So appreciate you being here, spending a few minutes of your day, of your morning with me. Hit that like button on your way in. Appreciate all the support. Helps the channel get bigger every single day. What is going on, Gilbert? Happy hump day indeed. All slips cashed. Really, man. Nice. Oh, you're playing on Hard Rock, correct? Or do I have that wrong? Where are you playing? There are a lot of different slips and a lot of different books being posted in the Discord. So I do see them all, but a lot of those aren't available to me. So it is nice to see people winning on different pick'em sites or different places. Just goes to show you that there are lots of options out there for you to build bankroll and to profit. So congrats, man. What was your, what was your best hit yesterday out of all the slips? Welcome in, everybody. 6 viewers on the stream. Give it another minute or two before we get into the content for today. Yeah, my slips yesterday. Well, first of all, the cheat sheet that I provided in the Discord had a winning day, but didn't really have the best of days because of the last minute plays in Duchesne and Andrew Nemhard hitting that last minute 3 in a game that was well out of hand. Really messed things up. So it really cost us a pretty strong day with the cheat sheet, and we ended up winning more than we lost, but definitely didn't get to where I thought we'd get. Thought we'd definitely get into the double digits with our wins on that cheat sheet. But new day, new cheat sheets to talk about, new plays to talk about here today. Per usual, #blessed. If you watched this stream before, then you already know that over 10% of the US population does not wake up, meaning they die in their sleep. So you didn't, you're here. Congratulations, you're on the other side of that statistic. #blessed. Pretty morbid start to the stream, I know, but it's only uphill from here. Only good vibes from here. So morbid fact, but true information there. I didn't realize it was 10%, over 10%. That's a pretty hefty percentage of people that don't make it to the next day, but we're here. You're here with me. Appreciate you showing up, spending a few minutes here on the stream. Without further delay, let's get into some turds of the day, because I'm sure there have been quite a few misses in everybody's slips, especially with that first taco. Brandon Ingram, to no fault of his own, Pelicans just handled business. They just went out there and just put it on the Raptors. If you would have 139-98, if you would have said that the Pelicans win by 40 points, I would have been like, man, Ingram probably had 30, Zion probably have 30. Those guys probably led the way. Well, Trey Murphy had 34. And I was the only person on that team to get over 20 points. So not only did the Pelicans blow out the Raptors, but They probably could have done it without the 12 points contributed by Brandon Ingram. So that taco was dead on arrival, unfortunately. What's going on, JR? What's going on, DF the God, JR, Carrie? Why did I say JR twice? What's going on, everybody? Carrie's turd of the day is Miles Bridges. DF says Brandon Ingram for sure. Yeah, Brandon Ingram for sure. I think that's going to be a lot of people's turd of the day. What's up, Jose? Morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. My turd of the day, honestly, I was on Brandon Ingram's assist, and he did go over that. If you watch my underdog short yesterday, where I talked about Brandon Ingram's assist and the under on Kelly Olynyk's rebounds, those two did hit. So I can't be 100% pissed off at Brandon Ingram. I wasn't on many of his other props, to be honest, but my turd of the day is Jared Allen. And well, really it's the Boston Celtics, because I took the under on Jared Allen's PRA, put him on my cheat sheet, also put him in a slip. And he was at 30 and a half. So he was at 30 for like the whole third quarter. And the Celtics got out to a 20-point lead going into the fourth. And I was like, okay, maybe he doesn't even come back in. And it looked like that for a while. I said, damn, he's gonna hook this, and I'm gonna win this. I'm gonna win this prop. And wouldn't you know, Dean Wade's ass goes off and he brings them back in the game. And here come the starters. And of course, Jared Allen crushes that line. So co-turds, Jared Allen and the Boston Celtics starting five. So yeah, had they held on to that lead, I'm pretty sure that the Celtics would have won that game, obviously, but also the starters would not have returned for the Cavs, meaning Jared Allen is just collecting cobwebs on the bench, which is what I needed him to do. What's going on, Darrell? Good morning to you. So there's my turd of the day. Yeah, that taco was bad. You knew better. You stayed away from that taco, JR. I played it in one slip. It did not go well. So the KD taco did hit. That was nice. I didn't get to the NHL taco, unfortunately, but somebody let me know in the chat if that hit, because 2 out of 3 tacos ain't bad. But that Brandon Ingram taco was dead on arrival. All right. Let's keep it moving, y'all. Let's keep this moving. Let's go over some injury news in the NBA. If you're new to the stream, if you're watching the stream, you're not in the chat, jump in the chat, say what's up, introduce yourself, say hello. If you're new to the stream, we break things down in a pretty typical order, and we always cover injury news, because injury news is very important, especially injury updates. The injury news will not stay the same. This morning report will change at some point today. But one thing we do know, very, very seldomly do players get ruled out and then get ruled in. So the players that you see that are already ruled out will probably remain that way for the rest of the day. You got Markkanen still out in Utah. Westbrook will be out for a while with that hand injury. Marvin Bagley out for the Wiz, Zaire, and then Taylor Hendricks out for the Jazz. So now you have, well, it looks as though Walker Kessler is playing today. So last game you had Kessler, Markkanen out, and now you have Markkanen and Hendricks out. So if they happen to be down Kessler as well, you got your 3 bigs in the front court who are down today versus the Bulls. This might be a game where Andre Drummond and Vooch eat. We'll keep our eyes out. DeAndre Ayton doubtful today. And then questionable, got a big list of Q tags here, headlined by Giannis, LeBron, Triple J, Jeremy Grant, Keontae George, Harris, Isaac, Dalen Terry, Kamara, and Matisse Thybulle, and then Marjon Beauchamp. He's in. He's probably going to play today. So, I know you guys were holding your breath on that one. I don't even think we've seen a handful of props for this dude over the course of the year. It does take an injury to one of the starters for him to be on the board. So probably not going to move the needle for you in prop in the prop world, but if you're playing DFS, probably a good source of cheap value there, bargain bin value. So there's your injury report for today, Wednesday, March 6th. Keep your eyes on the prize, as I'm sure this will more than likely change over the course of the day. What's going on, GMAC? What is going on? All right, let's get to our plays of the day. NBA plays. So I got a couple of plays that I do have already on the PrizePicks board for you all. I like these plays. I'm going to put them in a slip. I put them in my cheat sheet. If you are in the Discord, you've seen the cheat sheet, you've seen these plays, but I want to talk about them. 2 of the cheat sheet plays we're going to break down today. As we always say, all of the prop research you see done in the live stream, pretty much all my videos, all my content, courtesy of props.cash. 25% off your first month. Use that promo code thanks25. My redemptions are pretty steady, so thank you so much. Thank you to all who have opted into props.cash. If you've never seen props.cash before, if you're new to the stream, if you are new to props.cash, stick around. We'll break a lot of props down using props.cash, so you get to see it used in real time. And if you like what you see, then go ahead and sign up. Use my code. If not, then don't worry about it. All right, let us transition on over to PrizePicks, where we have a pretty full board today. I wonder if PrizePicks will do anything today to make up for that taco. Just a random discount or a free square or something like that, because they damn sure didn't reboot Brandon Ingram. They need to really revise that spoiled taco policy, because currently it's if the player gets injured and doesn't return after the first half or first quarter. But they really should revise that to where if a player just simply doesn't get the minutes, doesn't have to be by injury, blowout, you know. So hopefully that changes at some point, or hopefully another pick'em site comes along and offers something like that. I think that'll be a little bit more friendlier to the masses. All right. They should definitely. I agree. Anytime I say an SH word, my phone picks it up like I'm asking Siri a question. So I have to always swipe that away. Guess it's my Texas accent. Everything I say sounds like Siri, apparently. All right, let's talk some PrizePicks. Let's talk some underdog. Let's talk hot streak. Let's talk jock market. Wherever you play, let me know in the chat. If you got a player prop you want me to dig up, throw it in the chat. If you are not playing on PrizePicks, put in also where you're playing so that I know that the play isn't on PrizePicks, so I don't go looking for it. Otherwise, I'll just assume that it's on PrizePicks. But yeah, we can pretty much look up any play you want. Props.cash does not discriminate. All right, props.cash is inclusive of all player prop sites. We just can't pull up every player prop on PrizePicks. All right, let's do this. I got 2 plays on the board that I like. Ayo Dosunmu over is for 14.5 points, and I like Draymond's turnovers today. Both are sitting in really good spots. We'll break those down along with a few other plays of y'all. So let's start getting some plays on the board, and let's start building out our first round of player props here. The first player prop that I see on the board is we got Collins PR. So we got Collins PR from GMAC. You talking about Phil Collins? John Collins? I don't even know if the chat knows who Phil Collins is. I literally just wrote Phil Collins so in the search bar. There's nobody named Phil in the NBA right now on this board. That should be one of my trivia questions the next time I in my next quiz YouTube short. If you haven't checked out my quiz shorts, those are pretty fun to make. I'm having a lot of fun making those. Check those out. They're pretty friendly too. So if you have kids I know I tend to drop the occasional F-bomb, and this stream is not kid friendly, but those trivia shorts are pretty kid friendly. So if you want to share those with somebody not of age, I think those are pretty appropriate. All right, let's look at John Collins, not Phil Collins, PR, at 26.5. Boy, he is starting to his numbers are starting to come up like 7-Up, you know, because of all the injuries and just honestly his level of play, and especially in the second half of the year. I mean, we saw him starting to pick it up going into the break, and he has not really dropped off all that much. And especially when we get injuries to the front court like we're seeing in Utah today, John Collins is getting some major juice to those props. JR says turd of the day. Oh yeah, I thought there was a second turd of the day. I was like, oh shit, you got two of them? Okay, yeah. Brandon Ingram carries Miles Bridges. There we go. Harden, 17.5 points. I always take this guy's points against their former teams. All right, let's take a look at James Harden's points. So JR likes to invest into that narrative. You know, players do play with a chip on their shoulder. Houston made him a superstar. OKC got him on the map. Obviously, he was behind some pretty good players there, but Houston made him a superstar. Listen, James Harden did wonderful things in the city of Houston. He helped so many strippers graduate community college. He helped so many strippers, you know, get out of the slums. So, I mean, what he's done for the economy in Houston is nothing short of amazing. So I don't want to like completely bash on James Harden's time in Houston, but he might have a little chip on his shoulder. You guys should have kept me. You guys should have re-signed me as a free agent. Maybe there's something like that going on. Kerry says I have a Valorant play I like this morning. There is a 2-point projection difference for Lil. No way this is this guy's name. Lil Bob. That's his name, Lil Bob. Is that like Lil Jordan Humphrey? My God. It's awesome too because Bob is in lowercase letters, so it's like extra emphasis on Lil Bob over. I love that name. That's my favorite name right now, Lil Bob. It sounds like a great name for a hamster or gerbil. Lil Bob. All right, we got Valorant on there. Now, I can't look up Valorant on props.cash just because it isn't, at least on the desktop app, esports isn't completely uploaded there. But on the mobile app, you can definitely look up a few extra things. But Kerry's been pretty spot on with the esports play. So we'll go put that one in there. We got ATM talking about DeJounte Murray over his rebounds, D'Lo over PRA, and Chet over points. I tell you what, let's look at DeJounte Murray first, only because I had my eye on his rebounds and assists earlier. I think they were at 12. They got bumped up to 13. But his rebounds are still the same. So let's take a look at his rebounds, and that's 6 right there. John Collins, yeah. What's up, Divine? Says, had a bad night because Jokic triple-double. He wants to go over Fox points, Curry points. Put my check on it. All right. Let's head over to props.cash. We'll get that Curry and Fox points in there as well. We'll add them to the second round, but we'll get those in there for you, Divine. All right, we're heading over to props.cash. If it's your first time seeing props.cash, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take these plays. We're going to use the resources on props.cash to break everything down. So by the end of this round, you'll know a little bit more about these players. And from there, you can make pretty informed decision on whether you want to take them, fade them over, under, whatever you want to do. You'll have some information to help you out, so you're not blindly picking plays. You're not just throwing random shit against the wall hoping it sticks. Let's talk about DeJounte Murray's rebounds at 5.5 over on PrizePicks today as the Hawks host the Cleveland Cavaliers. Both teams coming off a back-to-back. Cleveland coming off a pretty emotional game. That 20-point comeback win is that's a big deal. And then this come back the next day, turn back around and play on the road. There might be some lag there, maybe a little bit of lag there. So let's take a look at Murray's rebounds today. Sitting at 5.5, minus 120 and 106. Those are your odds over on FanDuel, I believe. But let's take a look at what DraftKings has this at minus 130. Caesars has it at minus 125. BetMGM and PointsBet have this at minus 130 to go under. So books are really liking the under on this one. Let's figure out why. So 7 out of his last 10 games, he's gone over. He's averaging seven rebounds, and 7 over his last 5. So those are pretty good. Those are pretty good images of. Those are pretty good models of consistency. Keep in mind, Trae Young remains out, and he's doing all this without Trae Young. So when we filter Trae Young out, you're really not going to see too much change because a lot of these games are pretty recent. On the year without Trae Young, he's averaging 6.3. Now, Cleveland's defense does not give up a ton of rebounds per game. In fact, they are top 10 in rebounds allowed, allowing just 43 rebounds per game. Looking at the box score from yesterday, just to give you some insight, looking at the guards, Derek White did get 6 boards. Drew Holiday did finish with 4. And Peyton Pritchard finished with 5 rebounds. Jason Tatum had 13, but we're looking at guards. Derek White getting you 6 rebounds in 35 minutes played. I think that's minutes are similar to what you should see from DeJounte today. Projections at 7.27. So you got really good projections. You got really good game logs with and without Trae Young. And then you got some positive history in terms of what we saw yesterday from the Celtics versus Cleveland. So shooting guards versus Cleveland, we could take it a step further if you want to dig deeper. So there you see Derek White. DiVincenzo got you 6, 7 for Ausar Thompson, 8 for Kobe White. Really don't put a whole lot of stock into these guys like Johnny Davis, Coulibaly, Jalen Suggs. These guys really aren't known to be strong rebounders, nor are they put in a spot to where they have to grab you boards, where DeJounte Murray is running that team right now. He's in a bit of a different role. There's Kobe White again for 7. I like the over on this one, even though the odds are saying under. Now, I wouldn't go crazy with it and throw it in all your slips, but if you want to put it in a flex, I think it's got some upside here. Typically don't go against the odds too often, but sometimes there's just too much information that support the other direction. I think this is one of those. This is one of those props. All right, Murray is out the way. Let's take a look at James Harden's points returning to Houston. So we're getting them at 17 points on PrizePicks. As you can see, some places do have it at 18.5. So let's go ahead and find a book that has it at 17.5 so we can look at these numbers the right way. So DraftKings has it at 17.5 with minus 120 odds to the over and 110 to the under. Caesars really likes the over on this one at minus 142. BetMGM, PointsBet, and DraftKings all see it the same way. Same exact odds. So let's just stick with that. I think minus 142 is a little juiced. So let's stick with some odds that are pretty believable here. So we got a 10-game log for James Harden. He's averaging 19 points in those 10 games. He's gone over this in 6 out of those 10 games. Over his last 5, he's averaging 21 points, missing it just once against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Playing a Houston team that is much improved from last year, sitting outside the top 10 in points allowed, so not allowing a ton of points per game. But just because they're only allowing 113 points, that doesn't mean that James Harden's not scoring any points. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Clippers are still going to score over 100 points. James Harden is projected for 20 today, and we just looked at the odds. So odds are in favor of the over at 17.5, by a small margin. And FanDuel has the under at 18.5. This one will probably get bumped up to 18 at some point today. If you like it, take it at 17.5. It's not going to get any lower. In his one game this season as a Clipper, he has played the Houston Rockets, where he scored 24 points. So I said that really weird. In his one game versus the Rockets this year as a Clipper, there you go, he scored 24 points. That makes more sense. So, yeah, James Harden's in a good spot. Is anybody out for the Clippers? I don't think anybody's saying, well, Westbrook, obviously, but I didn't know if we had any status on Kawhi or PG. Do we want to take a look at games played without Westbrook? I mean, it doesn't matter because there are only 2 games this season played without Russell Westbrook. All these games were played last season as a 76er. So it's kind of relevant to look at that sample size. Doesn't really move the needle any other way. You're getting good odds, you're getting good game log, and you're getting good history against the Rockets. So I think that one's in play as well. 17.5 points for Jaime Harden. Let's take a look at John Collins' PR, sitting at 26.5. Boy, I missed the days where we had his PR under 20. But he also wasn't getting the minutes, and his role wasn't as large as it is today or this season, over the last month or so. So it was fair. But now we're getting it at a much, much higher line. Now pay attention to this line of 27.5, because at 27.5, you're getting coin flip odds here, meaning you can go either side, either way, split it down the middle. And those aren't terrible odds. So if this were to get bumped up to 27, I think it's still in play. But on DraftKings, Caesars, and BetMGM, all 3 have this at 26.5. DraftKings and BetMGM do like the over a little bit more than Caesars. When you take a look at his last 10 games, he's gone over 26.5 in 6 games. He's gone over 26.5 in the last 5 games 3 times. And against the Chicago Bulls, he has yet to go over. And that is 1 game this season, back in November, where he played 29 minutes. In comparison to his last 10 games where he's playing 30. So the minutes aren't too different. In his last 5, he's playing 30 minutes and he's averaging 11 shots per game. In that game against Chicago, he took 9. So obviously his role is a little bit different. He's playing more minutes and he's more involved in the offense. So I think this one's in a good spot, factoring in that Markkanen is not in today again. So again, we already know his upside. It grows when they're down a player like Markkanen. So projection for John Collins today. His projection today is at 32.42, which is a little high, honestly, for a projection, but you don't need him to get 32. That's not a true or false question. Do you think he gets 32? It doesn't matter. He needs 27. The question you need to ask yourself is, can he get me 27? And I think the answer is yes. Anything else is extra. You don't get more money deposited into your account for every extra rebound he gets. So 27 is the number you need. I think he can get that done for you. Let's take a look at Ayo's points, 14.5, while we're here. So Ayo Dosunmu, we talk about guys with larger usage rate when players go down. He's one of the Bulls that has really benefited from the absence of Zach LaVine. Over his last 5 games, AO is averaging 17 points, and that does include a dud game against the Detroit Pistons. Over his last 10, he's also averaging 17 with a 60% hit rate. Projected for 14.85 points, which is roughly 15 on odds of -128 to the over. FanDuel likes the over on this one, as does DraftKings, as does Caesars, as does BetMGM, and as does PointsBet. There is a slight drip and drop of juice to the under, but most of that juice is to the over. So pretty favorable odds for AO today. With Zach LaVine on the year, on the year, Ayo Dosunmu with games where Zach LaVine plays is averaging 7 points. 7. When we remove Zach LaVine and then when we actually make sure he's ruled out, Ayo's averaging 13 on the season. That's being brought down by those games with such low totals. You see the drastic difference that makes when LaVine's not in the lineup. So give me the over on AO's 14.5 points. Let's quickly look at Draymond Green's turnovers. Now, turnovers are a little volatile. It's really hard to predict turnovers. But Draymond Green is involved in his offense. He does touch the rock a lot. He is distributing and facilitating and all the good things. So anytime you have a player like that with some usage like that, the turnovers should come. Over the last 5 games, Draymond is averaging 3 turnovers. He did not turn the ball over against the Boston Celtics, and that was probably because they got the shit kicked out of him and he didn't play a lot. Prior to that, he had 4 straight games of 2 turnovers or more. Over his last 10 games, did a good job of keeping the turnovers down, and then they've kind of spiked up. And then games against the Milwaukee Bucks, he has 2 games played last season, but he is turnover prone. Looking at his projection for today, Draymond Green is projected for 1.87 turnovers, and you're getting favorable odds across the board. Best odds in favor of the over are on BetMGM, and then you have PointsBet at -120, and then Caesars at -123. So I like the over on Draymond's turnovers for sure. James Harden just got bumped up to 18, so hopefully you got that in. If not, if you play it, now he needs 19 points. That's it. That's it. The only play that we didn't look at was Lil Bob. Lil Bob. While we're in this Golden State game, we're going to take a look at Curry's points for Divine. I want to make sure I get this in, and then what I'll do is I'll add him to the second round. We'll screenshot him, or I'll just add him and screenshot him, and then we'll start a new round. How about that? So let's take a look at Curry's points. I'm seeing him at 27.5, but let me just pull him up on PrizePicks to make sure that's what we got at 26.5. So let's go ahead and make sure that we got the correct number up here. Let's take a look at DraftKings odds, -125 to the over, -105 to the under for Steph Curry today. His last game was last season versus this team. He got you 36 points. Aside from a few blow-up games, we really have not seen that level of production that we've seen in the past from Steph Curry. I mean, that's just a fact, especially over his last 5. Now, this is a home game for the Warriors. Pretty big game. Pretty much every game moving forward is a big game. They need to win. They need to win a lot of games. They're trying to position themselves in the playoff seeding. He's only projected for 21 points today. I mean, you're getting odds that are in favor of the over, but you're getting projections that don't like this play, and you're also getting game logs that say he's just cold right now. It's funny to say a player who's scoring 25 points, 20 points is cold, but for Curry, that's cold, you know. Most players, that's like their season high, 25 points. I don't know what to do with this one. I mean, you can definitely take the over on this one. There's a lot of information there that's pointing to the under. Taking a look at Curry at home, you want to roll this way. You're looking for some good news. You got it. At home, Curry, bit of a different player. You're seeing that average jump up. He's scoring 29 points at home, 28 over his last 5. And then head-to-head against the Bucks, he has that one game in Golden State last season where he got you 36 points. In comparison to the away games, much different, right? Look at those totals. Game averages are way different. So listen, if you really want to take the over on Curry's points, then I think your best narrative here is that he's a better player at home, or he performs better this season at home, and he's giving me 30 points at home, and roll with that. De'Aaron Fox points. We'll look at that real quick. Remove that away stat. Well, actually, that was relevant, but let's just look at his games overall. Over his last 10, he's averaging 24. He has a 50% hit rate. Over his last 5, he's averaging 28, where he has an 80% hit rate. Games against the Lakers, played pretty well. Okay, listen, he's got 6 games against the Lakers. He's gone over in 5 out of 6, and that does include 2 games this season. Pretty early on in the season. But anything over 27 gets you a win. So you don't need 30 points from him. Lakers currently allowing the 20th most points in the league. And De'Aaron Fox is projected for 27.5, which is roughly 28. Taking a look at the odds, DraftKings has this at 25. Let me just confirm that his point total is not 26, or it is 26 on PrizePicks. It's at 26 even. So DraftKings has it at 25.5. Look at this massive juice to the over. They love the over on DraftKings, PointsBet, Caesars, and at BetMGM. But at 26, you're kind of getting it right in the middle. So you're going to see those odds improve from this minus 113, but drop off from that minus 139, minus 140. Somewhere in the middle, but the odds are still in your favor at 26. So play it now if you like it. It's not going to get any lower. I'm pretty sure it'll get bumped up one more time. And that's De'Aaron Fox. And that's our first round of player props. So we really covered 7. We covered 7 players in this round of player props. Collins over PR, Dosunmu over points, Draymond Green over his turnovers. We're going to go with Lil Bob. I believe it was over his map 1-2 kills. Murray over his rebounds. Harden's line at 17.5. If you can still get it at 17.5, that's your best line. If you absolutely must take the over on his points, then your next best line is 18 as he returns back to Houston. Let's add De'Aaron Fox in there, and then let's add Steph Curry over on his points, and let's go ahead and screenshot those, and we'll add that to the list of players. So there you go. 7 player props up, 7 player props down. We move on. All right, let's catch up in the chat. 30 of you on the stream, man. When I started that first round of player props, there was like 7. Appreciate y'all being here. Hit the like button. You're on your way in. 27. Oh, man. Was it something I said? Listen, I appreciate y'all being here no matter how many people are watching this shit. Hit the like button on your way in, though. It's the only thing I ask. Lil Bob for the dub, says G-Mac. I love Lil Bob. Carrie says, I got some MMA plays, but I was going to wait till Friday to post them just in case lines change. Yeah. From my experience, though, if you can lock in a good play on an MMA line, I mean, you're the only downside is you got to wait. All right. You lock them in on a Tuesday and you're like, damn, that shit's not till Saturday. Right. But here's the thing, though. If you lock in that value, you put it in a flex, and then your other 4 plays hit or 5 plays hit, you just got that 1 play left, and you're just like, it's a fun sweat. It's a fun sweat. That 1 play right there, you know, for a clean sweep. All right. ATN says, Chet over points. Jose says Giannis over or Giannis RA or his assist alone. They just bummed Dylan Brooks link to 10. Oh, bumped Dylan Brooks to 10. It was 9.5. I thought you were calling him a bum. I was like, oh yeah, I've heard him referred to as a bum. I thought you were saying that bum Dylan Brooks. Speaking of players doing good things in Houston, despite his reputation in the league, he's a pretty charitable dude. Gives back to the neighborhoods and shit like that. I think that's pretty cool. It just gets under people's skin and definitely has some bad programming between the ears when he's on that court. Chet over points 15.5. I like that one too. I played it on underdog. Underdog, it's a good line either way, but I played on underdog first. Giannis's rebounds and assists. Now Giannis is questionable, so just keep that in mind. Hopefully he plays today, so this game is a good game between the Warriors and the Bucks. You like seeing superstars go at it. So I'm assuming you're liking the over on this one, Jose, because you didn't let me know, but I think you like the over on this one. Let's take a look at his RA sitting at 18.5. Travis Ferrantino, what's going on? Good morning to you. Says that boy's going back to Houston. He's getting it. He's getting something. He's gonna get something. AE, what is going on, AE? I think it's my first time seeing you in the chat. Maybe not your first time on the stream, but definitely my first time seeing you in the chat. Does Zubac get playtime? He's at 19.5. The thing about Zubac is Ty Lue. That's the thing about Zubac is Ty Lue, because Zubac will his minutes will get just kind of messed around with from time to time, especially if like Plumlee is performing well, or if Zubac is off to a very slow start. Ty Lue would just insert Plumlee, or they'll go small ball or something like that. And so he's always that's a risk you take with Zubac. But against Houston, where they do have a big front court with Sengun and Smith, Tari Eason's out for the rest of the year, but you still got some pretty big bodies in that front court. Hopefully we see full run for Zuby. I think he's super underrated. He just doesn't really get the love. He reminds me of when Jonas Valanciunas was in Toronto and he wasn't getting that run. You already know when Valanciunas gets his full run, what he can do. And I think Zubac is pretty similar in like fantasy production. But we'll put him on the board, no doubts. Hey, he said Curry's been a foul out again. Well, shit, if y'all are looking to take the over on him, hopefully he doesn't foul out. That's fucked up, man. Good morning, Ink says AO over 1.5 3-pointers made. Now, as I wipe that water from my nose, because it went up my nose, what we can do is we talk about this in similar situations, but one way you can build out slips, it's not always a safe way to do it, because if it chalks, then your slips chalk. But you take a player prop and you kind of dissect it. So you take AO's points, you like the over, and you look at how he's going to get there, and you look at his threes and say, well, if he's going to get you 15 points, he'll probably need to knock down a few threes. Let me go ahead and add that to a slip. And now you got the base to your slips with the same player. Obviously, if he performs well, then they hit. You could take it a step further and say, oh, I like his first half, or I like his PRA, but you don't want to get too cute. But you can do that with certain players and kind of ladder that production. We just talked about AO's points. And you can also look at his threes if you wanted to. If I can find them. Does he even have a 3-point problem on PrizePicks? Nope. PrizePicks says, fuck that ladder. Here's a step stool for your ass. They do have his demon at 2.5. You could also do that. That's a little bit more risky, but if he's shooting well, then he's shooting well. He'll probably make 4. So we can't look at his threes, unfortunately. But I like the idea of kind of doubling down on a player if you like where they are with their prop. Now, JR. Oh, GMAC says you got played on underdog. So they got AO on underdog at 1.5. Well, there you go. That's where you will play it. Now, JR did a solid today. He wrote up in the Discord. I didn't ask him to. He just volunteered his time and wrote up a player prop for Franz Wagner. So check that out in the Discord as well. But he likes the over on his 18 points or 21.5 PA, saying they're locks, and he's calling that play of the day. So we got our first play of the day for Franz. Now, earlier, Divine said put a check next to Curry and De'Aaron Fox. And I guess I don't know if you meant if it looks good, then you're gonna roll with those as your play of the day. Putting a check by it, that means like that's your stamp. We can also put one of those guys as your play of the day, Divine, if you want to roll like that. But let me know so I can add it to the growing list of players of the day. Kyle Burke says everyone is on Franz today, so be careful. I know. I have a theory to that though. So if you're on a player prop because everyone else is on a player prop, I think that's a little risky. But if you are getting a jump on your research and you like a player prop, and then as the day goes, it becomes a popular play, I don't think you should move off your research. I think you should stick to what you like, because you were doing the work. But I think there's a difference. I think a lot of people see those popular plays and they're like, oh, I got to play that person because everybody else is playing that person. It's a little different when you see it first, and then all of a sudden it becomes a popular play and it just adds more value to your research. But yeah, I will say popular plays don't have the best track record. Some of them hit, a lot of them hit, but some of them don't. A la Alex Caruso. Divine says play of the day, Steph points and Fox points, comeback games. All right. I'll add them to the list. But here's what we got on the board so far, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go ahead and break down Chet, Giannis, Zubac, I guess we could look at AO's threes, even though they're not at a normal line. We can just look at the research and you can play it on underdog, but then it'll give you an idea at least, and you can still try to ladder it. You'll just have to do it on different pick'em sites. Kyle says, I didn't know Brandon Ingram was a taco yesterday. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bet on him. Brandon Ingram didn't do shit. At least he got his assist. I was on his assist the night before, and I included him in my underdog short. Jose says Harden's demon. He's dropping 25, at least 25 today. Really? I mean, we just looked at his points. You already saw the information for Harden. So, I mean, you got all the data there. So if you want to roll with his demon points, wow, his demons are only 19 and a half. That might not be a bad play, to be honest with you. Demons are always risky, but that one, I mean, you only need 2 more points, so okay, I like this one a little bit more now that we're looking at it together, because his original line got bumped from 17 and a half, so now you're only looking at a 2-point difference between his demon and points. You see what I'm saying? So I think in the way of what does he actually have to do to get you 20? Not too much, unless you thought he was just going to stop right at 18. So that one is a good one to consider. For real. Just to give you an idea, if we rolled with these 5 plays, with 2 of them being demon plays, your payout increases from 10x to 20x. So you're doubling up your payout. That's what a demon prop can do for your slips. Pick the right ones. All right. Oh, ATM. I didn't see that D-Lo in there. D-Lo over. Yeah, let's start taking some plays that you put in the chat that I didn't get to. If you posted 3 or 4 different plays, that way we can fill out this board. All right. Let's roll. We got 6 plays on the board. We're heading back over to props.cash. Appreciate everybody being here. Hit the like button on your way in. All right. So already in this LA game, let's take a look at D'Angelo over his points. Now they're at 18 on PrizePicks. This one was bumped up, I believe, from 17.5, where you were getting minus 140 on 2 books and minus 150 on BetMGM. So this one will get bumped up again to 18.5. So play it now at 18 if you like it. It's definitely not going to get any lower. I can promise you that. So let's go ahead and move this line. 4 games played against the Kings. He does have 1 game played this season where he got you 28 points over his last 10. Russell has pushed this line at 18 twice, but he has actually gone over this line in 6 games. So when you look at the hit rate, it's a little adjusted due to the pushes. But another way you can look at it is he's only missed the line twice out of 10 games. He's only missed this line 1 time in the last 5 games. Projected for 22 points. It might be a little generous, but you only need 19 points from him today. And I think 19 points is much more in play than 22. You already saw the odds. So yeah, that one looks good. If you want to roll with that one, you can also look at his points and assist at 24.5, or points and rebounds. Basically, I like taking the one that's the lower line because it's closer to the point total alone. So what you're really hoping for is this player to get these props on points alone, or get so damn close to it that he doesn't need much, he doesn't need many rebounds to get it done, or many, assists. So if he gets you 19 points today, that means he has to get you 3 boards, and he's averaging 4 against the Kings. Over his last 10 games, he's averaging 4. Over his last 5 games, he's averaging 4. So I think his points and rebounds are in play just basically due to them being the lower line, and the majority of this he can probably get you on points alone. Let's take a look at his PRA. So PRA right now for D'Angelo Russell, we're seeing it at 26.5. Now 27.5 is where you're seeing it in a few different places, but DraftKings has it at 26. Caesars, BetMGM also have it at 26. So same thing. This might be a good ladder opportunity if you wanted to run multiple slips with D'Angelo Russell and go over on his PR, go over on his PRA, go over on his points. You could try that. PRA looks good against the Kings. That last game, 38. Averaging 31 for a 70% hit rate, averaging 29 for a 60% hit rate. And then when you look at his projection, he is projected for 32 PRA. So PR, PRA, and points could all be in play. If you wanted to run a 3-play ladder, you would just need to find one other play to run this with and create a couple of 2 picks. If you're playing on underdog, you could run 2 picks. I encourage you to do 3 picks because your payout is 6x. So find 2 other plays on underdog and run this in a few different slips if you feel that highly on D'Angelo Russell. All right. Let's talk about Chet Holmgren. We're looking at his points. 15.5. So over his last 5 games, Chet is averaging 20 points. Over his last 2 games, however, he has hooked it and gone under. So bit of a drop off from the first 3 games in this 5-game block. Over his last 10 games, which do include those last 5 games, you can see he's gone over this in 50%. Nice little sandwich there where you have red bread and then you got the green, you got the lettuce in the middle where he's doing a lot of his production here. Now his games against Portland, he does have 3 games played this season. 2 of them he goes over. In his last game, he did not. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I think this one is in play. When you take a look at Portland's defense, pretty middle of the road in a lot of these stats. But if DeAndre Ayton is not healthy today, if he gets scratched, that front court gets a little thin. So Chet could be in a spot where he can go over this line. I like him with Ayton in, but if Ayton's out, only risk is blowout risk, obviously. But this is a home game for Portland, so maybe being in front of their home fans that helps them keep it closer. Chet is projected for 18 points, 17.5. Odds across the board look pretty good. All overs except for Caesars and PointsBet. So BetMGM, DraftKings, FanDuel all like the over on this one, as PointsBet and DraftKings don't know really what to do with this. But I think it's in a good spot. Only reservation is blowout risk for Chetty Chets. Let's look at AO's threes. Now, 1.5 on underdog. I think that's what y'all said in the chat. I'm just going to, yep. So it is on underdog. It is nerfed to 0.8. So they know this has got a high probability of going over. So they're going to give you a lesser payout. Underdog is starting to do a little bit more what PrizePicks is doing, is making it not worth your while to take some of these plays because the payout is lower. You can still play it. Just know you're not going to get your full payout on that slip. But let's take a look at his threes. So over his last 3 games against the Utah Jazz, AO has, wait, is this original? No, that's, so they got his line at 2.5, but it's higher than it should be. So this is the only line that's available for us to look at. FanDuel already has it at 2.5. Fuck that, man. But just look at the odds on FanDuel. -192 to go under. Over his last 10 games. I mean, this because he's capable of doing this and it's not a fluke. It's just hard to hit 3 threes every game, you know? So it's not going to hit as often as the 1.5, but it's there. 50% of his last 10, 40% of his last 5 games against the Jazz. He has yet to go over that. Is going over that 1.5 though. Now he's only projected for 2 3-pointers made today. So again, that's why you think that 2.5 might be risky. Now you're playing it at 1.5 on underdog. And that's it. On hot streak, if you wanted to roll with this on hot streak, you can reduce this to 1.5, but you are only going to get a 1.37x on it. That is down from the 2.48x that you would get if you played it at 2.8. So up to you if you want to roll with the demon or play it at 1.5 elsewhere. But if he gets hot, he's going to knock down 4 or 5. Jazz also giving up a shit ton of production from behind the arc, right? Almost dead last in the league when it comes to that. We're going to look at Giannis's rebounds and assists at 18.5. Now, this one's been bumped down. Too many people taking the under on this one. So now you're getting it at a lower line. So 17.5 is where you're seeing it in some places, but on PrizePicks, you're getting it at 18. You can see a lot of these books do have it at 18.5. FanDuel has it at 17.5. Play it on FanDuel first. If you want to take an over, play it on FanDuel first. If you absolutely have to, or just don't have access to books, and you just play it on player prop sites because that's your only option, then 18 is a much better line than 18.5. So looking at this line at 18, he has pushed it in one game. He has gone over in 4, and he's gone under in 5. Over his last 5 games, bit of a different story. We're seeing 2 overs, 1 push, and 2 unders. And then games against the Golden State Warriors, he has not performed all that well, with 1 game getting you 14. Projected for 17 today. I want to take a look at his assists only. 6.5 assists. Minus 136 to the under on this one as well. And then you can see that he has 4 games where he's gone over. In 1 game, he's gone over in the last 5. Obviously, against the Warriors, we know what his struggles are against this team with his rebounds and assists. So his assists are not very high either. When you take a look at his projections, he is projected for 5.65, which is closer to 6, but he needs 7. He needs 7 to get this number. Giannis has gotten you 7 assists in 19 out of the 54 games played on the year. He's averaging 6 assists. So goes under more than he goes over. Those are the facts. If you want to roll with the over on this one, I think this one's a little risky, to be honest with you. But if you just feel like you're going to do it anyway, I wish you the best of luck. But this one is getting not a whole lot of support from all the factors that we look at. All right. Who else was there? Zubac. Let's take a look at Zubac. We should have just taken a look at him when we looked at Harden, right? But let's take a look at his PRA. Sitting at 19.5. Against the Rockets. Damn. All right. So he's averaging 18 PRA in his last 10 games. When he goes over, man, he goes over. When he's under, it really, really hurts that average. Over his last 5, however, he has really stepped it up. So you're seeing massive production out of these games, except against Minnesota. Rockets this season, he does have 1 game played. He did get you 21 PRA. Prior to that, he went 0 for 3. These are pretty long ago. So this is the relevant game here. Projected for 19.96, so he's projected for 20 PRA. I think that's a pretty solid line. I don't think that projection is crazy. I think when you see that projection, you say, yeah, I think he can get that. It's not something stupid like 35 projection. BetMGM likes the under on this one with really wonky odds. Minus 135 to the under, minus 120 to the over. DraftKings likes the over, as does Caesars. So 2 out of the 3 books like the over on this one. My only reservation, obviously, like I said earlier, are the minutes for him and how they can kind of get snatched away. This is what I'm talking about here. So like it gets you 27, 30, 28, that kind of shit. He's going to get you that over. Then he gets you games with 18, 20, 18 minutes. Like, what are you going to do with that? I think Houston does play big today, so I expect Zubac to get his full run. I think this is a good spot. All right. I think that's it. We just ran through 3 player props for Russell. We went over Chet Holmgren's points, Ivica Zubac's PRA, AO, super risky 3-pointers made. But if he gets hot, he's going to knock down 4. I promise you that. James Harden, because that line got bumped to 18, now you're only looking at a 2-point difference between 18 and 20. Come on, man. This is a really good demon line. I would definitely take a shot on that one. Russell over his points, Russell over PRA, and then Giannis under his 18 rebounds and assists. If you can still find this at 18 and a half, play it. But if you have to play it on PrizePicks, then it's at 18. I still think we got enough there for the under. All right. Like that one. All right. 6 up, 6 down. Moving through this round of player props. 35 people on the stream. Appreciate y'all being here. If it is your first time on the stream, welcome. If it is your first time in the chat, welcome. If you're on the stream but not in the chat, jump in the chat. Say what's up. Don't ask me to say hi to your Swedish friend or your Nigerian cousin. None of that bullshit. Carrie says, I like the Kyle Lowry under PRA and SGA under RA. Boy, that is an eye chart for you. Under PRA, SGA, RA. Knuckles, what's up? Good morning. Welcome in. All right, Carrie, let's take a look at Kyle Lowry's PRA. Forgot there's another Kyle. And SGA. Under rebounds and assists. What are they at? 13 and a half? 12 and a half? How y'all like them blocks yesterday? For Wemby? What did he get, like 18? He had 7, right? He had 7 or 6. He was stuck on 3 for a long time. I was like, damn, is he really going to go under this? Nope. He'll get like 3 blocks in one possession. Like people just keep trying to shoot. He's just like, it's just like patting it away from them. That fucking guy. All right, let's take a look at Kyle Lowry real quick under, and then we'll take a look at SGA under his RA. All right. Carrie says, I'm in a Zoom meeting right now trying to look up player props. No joke. In a previous life, when I was on 4 or 5 Zoom calls a week, because nobody can just send a damn email anymore. It has to be a fucking 45-minute Zoom call to go over 3 bullet points that could have been expressed in a text message. But when you're on those types of calls, my camera was always off. And then I would always just try to multitask. I wasn't looking at player props, but I was doing other things that I felt were a better use of my time. And then it became mandatory for all managers to have their cameras on, which kind of messed it up. So while I got away with it, I was definitely like trying to do something. It was like doing push-ups and stuff. Just trying to do something else. All right, let's take a look at SGA's rebounds and assists. 12.5 over on PrizePicks. So you're seeing this at an increased line from BetMGM and FanDuel. If you must play an over, play it on FanDuel at -136. Odds to the over at 11.5. So you're getting it at a lower line. But on PointsBet, Caesars, DraftKings, all these are under. So liking the under for these 3 books. He has gone under in 8 out of the last 10 games for a 20% hit rate. He's gone under in 4 of his last 5 games for a 20% hit rate. And then against the Portland Trailblazers specifically, he's gone under in 6 out of 7 games. He did rack up 16 rebounds and assists last game about a month ago. Projection for him is pretty favorable, though. The projection is 13.33. You got three books saying they like the under on a player prop. You're getting game logs that say the under is happening more than it's not happening. And you're getting projections saying, take a shot on us. So I would side with the projection. I would side with the game logs and the odds, because that's what speaks loud to me. Taking the under on SGA RA isn't always scary. Taking the under on his like fantasy points can be scary because he can rack up steals and blocks. But you can find some props to take unders on for SGA. All right, Kyle Lowry returning home. Kind of cool to see him in Philly, back home. So Kyle Lowry over his PRA against the Memphis Grizzlies. Now I believe this game was as a Miami Heat. All this as Miami Heat, right? So over his last 10 games, so Kyle Lowry is not the same dude. Obviously, he doesn't even have the same role that he had in Miami. But he's there for depth. I'm pretty sure he's there for like leadership and guidance, especially with Embiid out. But he's not there to like go over on his props, apparently, because he's only gone over his PRA one time out of the last 10 games. One time out of the last 5 games. His projection today is 13-14 PR. 18.9 PRA. I was like, damn, his PRA is only 13. That's really low. So he needs 23 to go over today. He's projected for 19. He can get you up to 23. He can get you 20. He can get you 22 today and not go over that line. So there is some wiggle room there, but I do like seeing that projection in alignment with the odds for Kyle Lowry today. So I think that one's strong, as well as the SGA under. No doubts. Gilbert, do I use better? I have a better account only because I had a no house advantage account. And then No House Advantage went bankrupt and all my funds got frozen. But they did set me up with a free better account because is it Jake Paul? Bought it out and made it better. And they gave you like some promo funds and shit like that. So I have an account, but I don't play a lot on there, to be honest with you. I'm playing a little bit more on Hot Streak. I love the line adjustments. I don't mind taking a payout bump either. And I also like the fact that you can kind of select if you want to go like the power play, get them all right. You can get up to 2 wrong, 3 wrong. I think it's a great way to build bankroll on Hot Streak. So I'm going to be playing on Hot Streak a little bit more. Carrie says, exactly. My camera is always off. I got a sticky note in front of my camera. Oh, just to make sure, right? Just, you don't trust that shit, right? Gilbert says his EV has gone up, makes a huge difference, no doubt. You start playing on these pick'em sites that don't, that the lines aren't inflated, and your bankroll starts to go up. It's like, oh, it's a magic trick. Yeah. Using PrizePicks for only 2 picks and promos. Honestly, y'all should be playing on as many pick'em sites as you can, or at least have an account active with as many pick'em sites as you can to take advantage of these promos. Like Underdog runs these promos all the time. Like the Kevin Durant promo yesterday, 0.5 points. I cashed that one. Sleeper runs them all the time. JOCKMKT has them all the time. But if you don't have to play on these sites every single day, but just have an account so that when these do pop up, you can play it, and then you can just build your bankroll, and just have like $100 and across like in all these sites that you've won on just promos. Taco Tuesday is not the best promo, obviously. Flex Friday is a good promo, but now more pick'em sites are running these protected. Better has a protected Friday type of promo now. So PrizePicks is not the only pick'em site that runs that. So I encourage you all to play on multiple sites just because it opens your bankroll up a lot. All right, so those are the last two plays we have on the board. Shy, I don't know if I said this, but your play of the day is Koulibaly over his points. And good morning, by the way, Shy. Good morning. So let's take a look at this real quick. And hey, y'all start throwing the plays of the day in here. We got a few plays of the day already, but let me know what you are looking at, and I'll add it to the list. If you want to know my players of the day, I'm thinking of Toumani Camara, not Koulibaly. He plays in Washington. If you want to know my plays of the day, check them out in the Discord. We opened up the stream with two of my favorite plays: Draymond over turnovers, Dosunmu over points. But if you want more than that, got about 14 players on my cheat sheet right now over in the Discord. So check those out. And you'll also have almost 20 player props that we researched here live on the stream. And you'll have some plays of the day. Don't tell me you don't know who to play. All right, so we like the over on his Koulibaly play. Let's check it out. So over his last 5 games, he's gone over just one time. In his last 10 games, he's gone over 3 out of 10 games. Against Orlando, 3 games this season, 1 game over, 2 games under. Bagley's out. So Bagley's out. Now, they don't play the same position. But if that's the logic for taking the over on Koulibaly, is the usage goes up if Bagley's out, or they run a different rotation if Bagley's out. I totally understand that. Now, his odds on DraftKings look strong at -125, as they do on Caesars, as they do on BetMGM and PointsBet. So FanDuel is giving you the worst. I wouldn't say the worst odds. FanDuel is giving you the odds that don't really favor the over as much at -118. But all these other all these other books do like the over way more than FanDuel. So it gives you some insight there. A player's game log doesn't always have to be green for it to be a good play. In fact, that's like sometimes that's irrelevant. What players do in the previous games isn't always what they do in the next game. So odds, injury news, usage, playing time, all those things factor into, the prop. He is projected for 8 points today, so he does need 9 to go over. I mean, the odds do like this one, so I see the logic in that one. All right. It would have messed up if I read that wrong and you wanted to take the under on it, Shy, and I just like made a case for the over. But I had to go back and just double check. I'm like, you did say over 8.5. So 8.5 Koulibaly is the play of the day for Shy. I'm going to go ahead and add that to our list. All right. Any other plays of the day? Any other plays of the day you have before we dip out on the stream here? Appreciate y'all all being here. Hit that like button on your way out if you haven't hit that on your way in. I'm adding De'Aaron Fox right now over his points. Boom. All right, cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to bring this live stream to an end. Appreciate y'all being here. 30 of you still on. We'll be posting the plays of the day in the Discord. Also posting all the player props that we talked about in today's stream And then again, you can find my cheat sheets. You can find player write-ups over in the Discord as well. Consider subbing up to the channel if you haven't done so already. That is another way you can help the channel grow. In addition to the live streams, I do post my YouTube shorts for PrizePicks and Underdog. Those take up a lot of time. I thought I'd be saving time doing the YouTube short format over video format, but there's still quite a bit of time invested in that. If I can actually get this down and create a good rhythm with my YouTube shorts, I'd like to go ahead and add a third YouTube short for Hot Streak. I think there's a lot of value on Hot Streak that a lot of people don't know about. So if I can get to the point where I'm moving and grooving in the morning, I'll go ahead and add that to the list. But right now, you got YouTube shorts for PrizePicks plays, Underdog plays, you got the live stream, and you got my trivia YouTube shorts as well. So check out all that stuff. Be sure to leave a like, share this channel with somebody you know. And we'll be back tomorrow. Now, tomorrow's Thursday. Tomorrow I have a few things going on in the morning. So we're going to be moving the live stream up to the afternoon, probably 12:30 or 1 p.m. I'll make the adjustments in the schedule so you'll all get the update. So it'll be an afternoon delight for our PrizePicks player prop talk here on the channel. So make sure that you're not here at 9 a.m. Wondering where I am. So 12:30, 1 p.m., probably closer to 1 p.m. So that'll be the adjustment for tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow with another live stream player prop talk. I wish you all the best of luck. Make all your player props respect the damn coin. Can't wait to share profits and all the stories of no turds tomorrow. But until we cross paths again, Chavez is out.